What we often ask is at the end of a meeting, we'll say, if we could give you a silver bullet to take out one of your competitors, who would it be? Hello everyone, and thanks for joining us. In the last video, we discussed the importance of research in achieving the best possible investment outcomes. This week, we got a question from Katie in Melbourne who asked, as a non-professional investor, what can I do? How can I research to get the best possible outcomes? What we found is that most people have far more insight and understanding of businesses than they appreciate. Often they've got better insight even than the professionals on Wall Street or on Collins Street. In 2023, I was going for a walk with my friend, Dr. Joel, and he noted that he had for some time been a fan of Novo Nordisk, the makers of Ozempic. He explained to me that he believed that the earnings for that company were going to continue to skyrocket for a long time. Being an investor myself, I asked him, have you invested in Novo in anticipation of this result? And he explained to me that given that he saw this, he assumed that everybody else had the same sort of information, and so it was fully priced in to the current share price. It clearly wasn't true, but that was the sense that he had. This is one of the most exceptional, bright people that I know. And even though he had that information advantage, he didn't recognize it, not due to any lack of expertise, not due to any lack of intellect, but simply because he was busy being a doctor, not being an investor. So where do we start when we're thinking about a share or thinking about an investment? We start with the business. We want to know the business and understand it as if we were looking to buy a whole private company. Because a share is not some theoretical 3-digit stock code or a blip on the screen. It is a genuine business, and we are buying a share or a part of that business. So we have a checklist. We have a checklist of potential sources where we can go and find information about the company so that we can get that comfort to make the investment. We'll look at annual reports and company presentations. The further back we can go, the better. Sometimes, particularly so if the company is only recently listed, we'll go and find ASIC filings, which will add some more color to the reports provided to us by the business. Now, each of those things is available to anybody with Google access. But we try and do more. We visit operations. We speak to management. We speak to employees, engaged and disengaged. Each type of employee will teach you something different. I've always found it fascinating that when speaking to competitors, you can get a really good insight into the operations of the individual companies. What we often ask is at the end of a meeting, we'll say, if we could give you a silver bullet to take out one of your competitors, who would it be? And often, if 4 out of the 5 people we've spoken to say the same company, that's probably the company that we want to investigate deeper into. We also like to test out the product, because unless you know whether the product is good or not, it's hard to assess whether the company is going to be successful. In the past, we've tested things like food outlets, coffee shops, shampoo products, cleaning materials, streaming services, and delivery services. And each time we get a deeper insight into whether or not the product is worth investing in. But every company is different, and so every company requires a different set of questions to be asked or a different focus in the research. We don't consider a bank in the same way we consider a mining company. We don't consider a mining company in the same way we would a supermarket. When we looked to invest in Metcash or the Reject Shop in the past, or more recently when we looked to invest and did indeed invest in Sky City Entertainment, we thought there was real value in visiting the operations. We got a chance to see what things look like on the ground. We got to speak to staff and we got to speak to customers. And by doing so, we were able to get a real good sense of how the business was going and get that information advantage that we're always looking for. Alternatively, when we looked to invest in a tire company, or more recently, we looked to invest in almond producer Select Harvest, we didn't feel that we needed to go and visit every head office or major production facility. Instead, we found there was value in calling around and having one-on-one meetings with key producers within the industry. For instance, with the almond industry, we were in touch with several farmers and growers in California and locally to assess whether or not their production numbers and their inventories were in line with market expectations. And where we found that they were not, we found there was an opportunity to invest. While you can on occasion find an information advantage from behind your computer at the desk, In our experience, the greatest information edges that we've ever been able to achieve have been from getting up and getting out of our comfort zone and visiting operations or asking the difficult questions. And ultimately, I think it comes down to 2 points. Number one, be intentional. Be aware of the investment opportunities around you because you genuinely do have greater insight and advantage than you even realize. And number two, don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to pursue your ideas aggressively. Have chutzpah. Have the gumption to go out there and be awkward and feel funny and feel uncomfortable, because the more uncomfortable you feel, the more likely it is that you're genuinely gaining an advantage. I want to say thank you to Katie for the excellent question, and to all of you, I genuinely do wish you the best of luck on your investment journey. But until next time, bye for now.